I have saved over 100 Pri Prisims and 50 Pri Prilixirs. It's time to get some good alchemy effects. Well, that was awful. I got another Prelixir from the request board, so I'll just use it and see what I get. Oh, come on! Now I get lucky? Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. JC here with another video on Disgaea RPG. Today we'll talk about Pri Prisims, Prilixirs, and standard equipment for most of your teams. But before we start, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. So you have been playing Disgaea RPG for a while now, and you want to tackle the most challenging content, huh? Well, one of the most important things for that is having good equipment with good alchemy effects, and for that you need Pri Prisims and Prilixirs. There are 3 ways to get these materials. On the request board, there's a chance for missions to give either Pri Prisims or Prilixirs as rewards. You can also get them at random by donating equipment. I prefer to donate equipment without innocence, so that I can easily see how many of these materials I get. And last, you can get them from Edna's Resort's events. Each month we receive a small event where we can farm some stages to get points for a special shop which has items that you use on Edna's Resort. The problem is that even with max bonuses, you don't want to spend your points on Prilixirs because you'll want to buy a ton of innocent caretakers and recipes. So those are the 3 main ways in which you can get Prilixirs, but there's a couple tricks to increase your Pri Prism and Prelixir income. First of all, use the Item World Explorer in the 4D Netherworld. By putting rank 4 equipment, you increase your chances of getting good items when donating them to Edna's Throne. You can use Crab Miso to auto-subdue innocents in this facility, but I don't recommend to use it, since the next facility is better at it. The Depository is the next facility that you want to use. This facility also raises the level of equipment you put in it, but it requires you to progress on the item world. It also auto-subdues innocents by using obedience medals, which are fairly common, so make sure to take advantage of that and put your equipment with legendary innocents here. The last thing that you want to do is farm the item world. It's kind of obvious, but let's talk about when and how you should be farming the item world. You want to enter the item world when you have no AP. The most efficient way to spend your AP when there's an event is to activate the extra point bill and farm for an hour, maybe 2, depends on how you're doing it. After that, you want to spend as much time as you can doing the item world. The only exception would be when there's a raid with a unique innocent that you want to get in large quantities. You normally want to enter legendary items or rare items to extend your runs as much as possible and increase your chance of dropping items, to put them later in the item exploration and depository. That way, you'll constantly donate equipment and you'll get a considerable amount of Pri Prisims, Prilixirs, and Prinisteel. Of course, a team of 4 pirates and a carry would be the best composition to increase the amount of items you get, but you can change 2 pirates for 2 units that you want to train. After all, you get weapon mastery and skill mastery in each floor. If you don't have more legendary or rare equipment, you may want to go to the printing workshop to use either the refined equipment or the equipment refinement. This will reset the level of your item, so you will be able to farm it again. Just be mindful with your Prinisteel and HL. Now then, what alchemy effects should you try to get with the Pri Prisims and Prilixirs that you get? First, let's talk about one of the most important pieces of equipment that you should get: boots. For all intents and purposes, there are 2 kinds of boots that you want to get. First, you want boots with 40% more innocent effect. This is to increase your speed as much as possible. This will be useful in PvP, gimmicky stages, item world, and spar space. The other alchemy effects do not matter in these boots, since they are used on one-hit kill strategies. The other boots that you want to get are action gauge reduction resistant boots. These are for raids, and they are essential if you want to be at the top of the leaderboard. You want to have as much action gauge reduction resistant as possible, but it's a very rare effect, so if you want to get 100% effect, then try aiming for 2 boots with 2 16% action gauge reduction resistance, and 1 boot with 1 16% action reduction resistance and 1 20% action reduction resistance. In my experience, the 16% effect is common enough to be worth considering. The goal here is to get 15 boots of each kind, so that all your team is either super fast or able to bypass the action gauge reduction in raids. For belts and glasses it's the same. You want 40% more innocent effect. Ideally, you want to use attack or int innocence on these, but speed is also a viable option depending on what you want to do with them. For this, you want to have at most 6 of each. On most content, a 1 attacker and 4 supporter composition is the most viable option. It's also possible to use a 1 attacker, 1 sub-attacker, and 3 supporters composition, which is why you want to have at least 2 sets of these. For weapons, you want to have at least 10 axes, 2 for fire, 2 for water, 2 for wind, 2 for star, and 2 for skill damage. For each pair, you want to have one with 20% more critical rate and the other one with 100% more critical damage. These axes are meant to be used for attackers which don't have equipment restrictions. This will do the most damage compared to other units. The critical rate weapons are used for PvP and sparse space, while the critical damage weapon are used for raids. And that's it, guys. If you were to get this kind of equipment, you'll surely be able to improve your scores in challenging content significantly. Tell me, guys, is there something else that you want to know about? Do you want me to review all units? Or do you want a preview on what's coming in the future? In Disgaea RPG, November is going to be as eventful as October, so there's little to talk about next month. Remember to take advantage of that and farm your Pri Prisims and Pri Elixirs. See you next time. Bye!